Hello, everybody. This is Jacob from Wager Me This, and today I decided to just kind of film myself practicing shooting. I still do this. I still practice shooting daily or close to daily. Not like I used to. Definitely not as committed to it as I used to be. That's for sure. But it's pretty close to daily. Um, but I definitely don't I don't record my shots or anything anymore like I used to. I got an idea of when I'm accomplishing a task and not, just kind of by the way the chips are going. So I got $1,000 here. I'm just going to kind of film myself practicing, and just because we've been doing the scumbag videos, the last two videos. Let's move it over one more. That way we can see everything real good. I just got 1,000 in chips here, and guys, I practice multiple ways because sometimes I am playing with friends and they want to play light side and they don't want me to play dark side and as friends, not at the casino. And so this is kind of what my scumbag videos were kind of getting at as much as anything, is that people do play certain ways based on who they're playing with, and there is a camaraderie to the game because I do it. Not every time, obviously, when I'm playing uh, and I'm actively like playing for a profit goal and I'm not there to have fun. And that there is a difference, guys. There is a difference between, for me at least, when I'm actively playing with a profit goal versus when I'm there to have fun with friends, with people I enjoy being around. Because when I'm there and I enjoy being around people, I play all kinds of ways. I don't I'm not strict to a strategy or even a couple strategies. I will play light side. I'll hop bets regularly. I'll do all these other things that I don't normally do, that aren't normally the way I play. And then on the flip side of that, when I'm there with a profit goal or whatever my plan is, maybe I'm trying to buy a baseball bat or whatever, I have a set of money I'm trying to win, because that's how I do it anymore. Then I only play hybrid. So again, this is me just referring to the craps community in a whole based on a lot of what I do. And I know a lot of what I do is similar to what everyone else does, at least in some aspects. All right, so I'm going to do a 25. I'm just going to play all light side today because that's what I was already practicing shooting, was all light side. So that's all I'm going to do. Guys, when I shoot light side, I don't move my sets around. I actually don't even use a traditional set. I use really odd set. I use the 6542, which most people probably would never like this set, just because it just has a 7 right on the face there. 6542. But I've had a lot of success with this, creating long rolls. Now I don't know if it has anything to do with the dice set or not, but I've had more success with this than any other. All right, so here we go. I shoot left-handed as well. That's another weird thing. I'm definitely right-handed, but I shoot left-handed, and I feel like I get more control on the dice. And there's a 617. And what I mean by that is I'm able to land them in a more specific spot. We're going to win there. I'm able to pick up the 4. I'm able to consistently repeat a type of throw. Not exactly the same outcome, not exactly the same action, but a very similar type of throw with my left hand versus with my right hand. Back to back 7s. We're going to get another place bet out there. Again, guys, when I do this, if I hit 7s on the come out like this, I just keep sticking the place bets out there. Sometimes I turn them on, sometimes I don't. If first shot of the day, like we're saying this is, I would just let them fill up out there, because now you're getting those bets for free. And there's a 10. As you guys can see, my dice hit softly. I don't like the dice to hit hard. I'm going to throw the next shot on the way that I think the dice should not hit. And if they hit this way, I don't think you're not doing anything. I'm going to show you guys on this next throw. Right, let's put 50 in odds behind our 10 there. And again, we're just playing light side, so we'll do some pressing, and this is more about just seeing if I can take the 1,000 to 1,500 on the light. Like I don't put a lot of parameters on the practicing. All right, so now I'm going to show you what I think. If your dice do this, if you're throwing the dice this hard, you're not manipulating anything. Even if it is possible, you're not doing it. That's not a controlled shot. No matter what people say, I'll argue this to the end. Even though it looked really pretty, we did end up with a 7. Even though it looked really pretty, there's too much action on the dice. It's too wild. It's too much velocity, in my opinion, for there to be any type of manipulation. I'm going to show you guys another shot that I don't think is any way controlled. And I'm not saying that this is dice control. I'm saying that even if people are trying to do it, if you throw it like this, I'm not buying it. All right. And that's putting the dice way up and coming down. Now, obviously, that one isn't, because it hit way up on the wall. All right. There's a 3-2-5. And guys, these are my opinions. You can take them for what you want, but it's just what I think from my experience playing. And whether you believe in any type of dice influence, dice control or not, what I'm getting at is even if you're trying it and you're doing these things and you're throwing them this high up in the air or that hard, you're not doing it anyway, even if it is possible. All right, so here's what I mean. This shot right there, that's not control. There's no control there. Way up high, landing on the table. There's no semblance of control. But we did win. We had 50 in odds, so that's going to win 75 on the flat. All right, let's press up some. Box numbers will be off. Another thing I want to talk about is if you are shooting the dice and you're doing this, remember you already have an 84% chance to not roll a 7. You already are 84% favorite to not roll the 7. So if you think you're doing something, are you beating 84%? Because you're probably not. 50 in odds again. But that's just my opinion, guys. And this is just what I've seen, what I've done myself, just my experience with it. Do I still practice it? I do. See, like there was no control on that shot. It was too high, too bouncy. I got a 3. And now I'm going to attempt to show a shot right here that I think has way more control on it. All right. I'm going to attempt. Much better in my opinion. Got the same result, but it was soft, and the dice didn't move nearly as much as when they're way up in the air and they bounce real high. And I have arguments for some other things. Like I don't think the dice have to stay perfect tumble on access to be consistent. I think anything can spin off access and still be a consistent spin. Like I have arguments for a lot of the stuff that I hear people talk about. We roll the 4, let's drop our VIG, we can get 4 change and 50. I have some arguments against a lot of what is commonly, I'll call it commonly preached about dice control for and against. Because I do think that there can be the dice, if you slow them down in slow motion, they could be tumbling sideways and still be under control. They could still be consistent. I don't think the way it tumbles matters all that much. I think what matters is the velocity, is the energy in the dice. When there's not a lot of energy in the dice, I think the results are better. All right, there's an 8. That's going to win 70. And again, I'm not no professional at dice control. I don't even act like I am. I'm just telling you guys my opinions on this. And this is how I practice. Sometimes I also practice hybrid, and I also practice eliminating combinations. I practice all this stuff. Not every day anymore like I used to, but I definitely practice it. There's another 70 on the 6. We'll press the 4. So we're pressed up across to the 320 level. Pretty good little run here. See if we can get a few more winners in. We got the 9. We'll take it. That's a $70 winner. See, and I like it when both dice don't hit the back wall. And I know people say, oh, they make you. No, they really don't. If one dice hits the back wall, generally most places will let it go. Now, if you're on a cruise ship or something, that's different. But most places, if one dice hits the back wall, you'll never hear a word from them. We'll press the 6. At the casinos I play at, if one dice hits the back wall, they'll never blink an eye. Now, something like that right there, you do that a couple times in a row, they'll probably say something. The first time, though, they wouldn't say a word. They'd just be like, hey, try to get all the way down there. That's the kind of, they'd say something like that. Because they're not dumb. They know you're throwing from across the table. And sometimes the dice, they dig in or whatever they do. I don't think I had any type of control, even though that wasn't super hard. It bounced way up in the air and all that kind of stuff. I just got lucky, and that's fine. You got 84% chance to get lucky. And there's the 8. That's going to win $105. Come back here. Sorry, I'm talking to the chips. Let's press the 9 and the 10. Click 55. We're doing a pretty good run here. Oh, and I had to spoke too soon. There's a 7. Still, that was a pretty profitable run. We essentially half pressed the whole way almost, except for the first couple shots where we green chip pressed, I'll call it. All right, so this time, let's go. Let's attack a little more. I feel like I'm shooting okay as people, oh, I was shooting good today, I feel like I'm shooting reasonable enough. We'll play a little bigger this time and try to collect some black chips. There's a 9. All right. $50 in odds there. All right, so we got a pretty healthy board there. Need a few hits here to make this work. See if we can manipulate it. We got the 10. That's pretty good. We'll drop. Well, come on now. That was a 10, guys. We'll drop $2 for 100. Press the 4 and the 10. Rack 50. Pretty good little roll there. And there's the 8. That was a perfect shot in my opinion. This one slowed down and died. That one hit the wall, bounced back, landed on a beautiful number. My opinion, that's a perfect roll. There's 175. Collect it. Just going to collect a little bit here. Try to collect a couple black chips. And then we'll reduce. Oh, man. Another perfect roll, in my opinion. It just landed on a 7. Again, I don't think I'm beating the 7. That's another thing is in dice control. I personally, I don't think you can beat the 7. That's my own personal opinion on it. I've never seen anyone to me that proves they're beating the 7 over any length of time. It doesn't mean they're not successful at it. It just means that they're making moves within the parameters of the math to make themselves profitable. It's more strategy than dice control. And that's an argument I have with people, is that most of the time they're winning because of their strategy, not because of the dice control. All right, let's do it a little more. And there's a 9. So those are my favorite kind of shots right there. They roll in, not a lot of bouncing around all over the damn place. That, in my opinion, is the closest thing to a controlled shot that there is. Now, I know I'll have people argue with me on this, and that's fine. That's what we're here for, to debate this stuff, to get better at it, right? Get other ideas. And there's an 11. The 11 ain't doing nothing for us right now. All right, let's go again. It's a good one. There's a 12. Now, if I just rolled that 11 and then I rolled that 12 and I already had the 9, I'd be pretty happy about that. Because in casino, I do play the bonus. And there's the 6. The only reason I don't play the bonus on here is because I can't really make the camera see everything. Otherwise, we would play the bonus. But I can't make the camera see everything. Otherwise, we would. Here we go. A little $70 win there. Press that 4 up. Maybe we can go on a little run of 4s here. See if we can't hit a few of them. And again, I've never changed my set from the 6-5-4-2. It's what I have had the most success with. Not having a ton of success here, but overall, most success I've had. I know people will tell me I should do this one or that one or this hard way or that hard way, because I've tried them all. I've put a lot of effort into most of the famous dice sets, I'll call them. Your 3Vs, your 2Vs, your cross 6s. I use cross 6s when I shoot dark side, because I use the 1-2-1-3, which if you flip it over, it's cross 6s. So, all right, in this case, we got our butts kicked right here. Sometimes I like to do like a YOLO thing. We'll put it all in the don't, and this this is my self-validation for the don't. A lot of times I'll be like, yeah, see, I should have just been playing the don't the whole time if I win here. So let's go 1-2-1-3, which is just upside down cross 6s. Let's see if I can make it happen. And there's a 10. So then I would be super validated, saying, see, now all I have to do is dodge a 10, convincing myself that I'm really doing something here. We'll put the 6s on top, the 4s in the middle. See if we can dodge this. And there's the 4. It's actually not a good sign as far as this type of dice control goes. And I'm saying dice control very, very loosely. I know I'll have some people tell me how unbelievably unreal dice control is and stuff. There always is in the comments. And that's all fine. You can believe whatever you want. I don't fully believe in it. I believe in it to the point I believe it in. There's our 7. And that's the validation, and that's, guys, you could keep that in mind, that sometimes, oh, that's perfect. That's exactly 100. You don't want confirmation bias, where you do something and it validates some kind of confirmation for yourself. And we'll trade that in. All right, perfect. Put all that on the 11. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can win another one. Another don't. cross upside down cross sixes, or the 1 2 1 3 as I call it. 11 will fall. Now we got to dodge the 8. Let's dodge the 6 2. 6 is on top, 2's in the middle. See if we can pop a 7. And there's the 8, 5 3. Not the one we were trying to dodge, but still got wiped out. So there goes my confirmation, right? And again, it's kind of interesting talk through there on the confirmation bias part of it. So often that happens, whether it's dice control, you have a good shot. See, I'm doing so good. Or if it's playing the don't, oh yeah, see, this is the best way to play. Or if it's hopping something and you hit them, you know, oh yeah, I should have always been. Don't do that. That confirmation bias, that's very dangerous. That's a very slippery slope. And I think people do it all the time when they hit numbers and they see numbers repeat. They refer, oh, that number's hot. It's hitting. That's a confirmation bias. That's not true. Again, you know, you'll have your dice controllers out there that say they're specifically targeting those numbers and they're going to hit more. Maybe they can do it. Maybe they can. I feel like I can do that some with the horn numbers. So I'm not going to say other people can't, because I think I can a little bit. But just overall, or the same thing when you lay the 4 or the 10, or you get a don't 4 or 10, and you say it always gets knocked off. Well, it doesn't always get knocked off. Just in the ones you remember, and that's another part of the problem, is we always remember pain way better than we remember success or pleasure, and it's just how humans are. That's why humans learn very well from pain. So you always remember the failures in a much more profound way, where the successes you tend to forget them. And again, that's all type of confirmation bias. But I hope that this video ended up really interesting. It was an interesting little practice session for myself. And again, I don't put too much into these. Like, I don't even record the shots anymore. I used to, like, I had books after books of, back before everyone got all these bone trackers and all that. I used to write it down in these log books, and the little ones with the little grid pattern, those squares. And so I would write hundreds of shots. I don't even know how many 10,000 shots or something I had logged down. I don't even know how many it was. It was a lot. I don't even have I got rid of the books and everything because it was a waste of time. The practice shooting wasn't a waste of time, but the logging it down, even when I went through it and I tried to find patterns and I tried to find consistencies and all that, you know what I came up with at the end? Is that I was pretty much a random shooter, still hitting 16% sevens, but I was able to like lean it one way or the other as far as high numbers or low numbers. That was the only real valuable data I got out of it, is that I could shoot to where I could get a higher number more often, or I could shoot to where I could get a lower number more often. And some of that might even been just confirmation. So again, guys, I'm not trying to discourage anyone from dice control, and I'm not trying to discourage anyone from not believing in dice control. I want you to think and play how you wish. But I also, if you're just instantly going to discount stuff and use terms like that can't be real, or that's impossible, or you just haven't shot enough shots, you don't have enough, there's, what do they call it, sorry, my mind went blank there. The sample size isn't big enough, or whatever, all that stuff, guys, come on. A lot of people's sample size is way bigger than big enough. I know lots of people that live at the casino have shot personally 10,000 shots, and their sample size is plenty big. If they are trying to control dice, there's something to it. They've made enough money to prove to themselves that it's worth their time. And there's other guys that only play the don't that have made enough money off those guys. So everyone plays their own way. Everyone has their own opinions on it. And the only thing I think is weird is when people automatically tell people that can't be true when you don't know what that person's effort they've put into it, or they might have proven it true to themselves. So again, guys, y'all have a great day. This is Jacob from Wedge